समुद्रस्य हिमाद्रश्चैव दक्षिणं वर्षं तद् भारतं नाम भारतीयत्र सन्तति।
Namaste. Welcome to today's episode of Itihasa. Today's episode of Itihasa is special because we will talk about Yoginis. Yoginis as a term, one often encounters that expression. It's a term that's often imperfectly understood. It's a word that is often used in a very loose sense. Today, we will understand about Yoginis.
योगिनी शब्द कई रूपों में प्रचलित है। क्या है योगिनी या कौन है योगिनी? क्या है योगिनी का अर्थ? नाम पर जाएं तो योग करने वाली स्त्री को योगिनी कहा जा सकता है, लेकिन नाम से इतर योगिनी को समझना किसी पहेली से कम नहीं है। ऐतिहासिक साहित्यों, पौराणिक ग्रंथों और किंवदंतियों या लोक कथाओं में योगिनी की अलग अलग परिभाषा, अलग अलग रूप है। ये भारतीय संस्कृति की चरम शोध सीमा का फल है कि अन्य सभ्यताओं में पितृसत्ता का धौंस रहता रहा है, वहीं भारत की संस्कृति स्त्री की विभिन्न शक्ति के स्वरूपों को पूजती रही है। शक्तिशाली, अदम्य और निडर। जैसा कि शब्दों से पता चलता है, योगिनियां केवल महिला योग प्रणेताएं ही नहीं हैं, अपितु वो गूढ़ ज्ञान का प्रतीक हैं, वो नेतृत्वकर्ता हैं, वो नायक हैं, वो साधक हैं। योगिनी को अलौकिक शक्तियों का प्रतीक बताया गया है। पराशक्ति, सर्वोच्च शक्ति के रूप में योगिनी की कल्पना की गई है। राक्षसों के संहार में योगिनियां दुर्गा और काली की सहायता कर रही थी। शिव साथ खड़ी शक्ति में सहयोगी और घटक के रूप में योगिनियां होती हैं, अर्थात शक्ति स्वरूपा देवी के अंश का स्वरूप है 64 योगिनी।
भगवती हे शितिखण्ड कुटुम्बिनी भूरि कुटुम्बिनी भूरि कृते जय जय हे महिषासुरमर्दिनी रम्यकपर्दिनी शैलसुते जय जय हे महिषासुरमर्दिनी रम्यकपर्दिनी शैलसुते।
नित्याय शुद्धाय दिगंबराय।
योगिनी के कई पवित्र मंदिर अस्तित्व में हैं। उनका प्रतिनिधित्व मंदिर के आधार पर बदलता है। किसी में योगिनियां खड़ी हैं तो किसी में वो नृत्य कर रही हैं या फिर वो किसी पशु के साथ खड़ी हैं। इसका कारण ये है कि योगिनियों की पूजा स्थानीय स्तर पर होती थी। भारत में कुल 64 योगिनी मंदिर हैं जो अच्छी स्थिति में हैं, जिनमें से 2 मंदिर मध्य प्रदेश में और 2 ओडिशा में हैं। मध्य प्रदेश के मुरैना में मितावली में स्थित 64 योगिनी मंदिर भारत के दुर्लभ मंदिरों में से एक है। लगभग 200 सीढ़ियां चढ़ने के बाद मंदिर का प्रवेश द्वार है। अति प्राचीन होने के बाद भी ये मंदिर अभी भी अच्छी अवस्था में है। गोलाकार संरचना वाले इस मंदिर में एक गोल बरामदे के इर्द गिर्द 64 कमरे बने हुए हैं। 64 कमरों वाली गोलाकार दीवारों के केंद्र में एक खुला मंडप बना है। फिलहाल इन 64 कमरों में शिवलिंग स्थापित हैं। कहा जाता है कि पहले यहाँ 64 योगिनियों की मूर्तियां थीं। योगिनी भारत के सबसे अस्पष्ट पंथों में से एक है। उनके अर्थों और पात्रों की व्याख्याओं में भी काफी विभिन्नताएं हैं। योगिनी के तांत्रिक रहस्यवाद से जुड़ा पंथ भारत में विशेष रूप से ओडिशा में लोकप्रिय था। भुवनेश्वर के पास हीरापुर में योगिनी मंदिर योगिनी पंथ के बेहतरीन जीवित स्मारकों में से एक है। हीरापुर का ये योगिनी मंदिर एक जीवित मंदिर कला और दिव्यता का कालातीत खजाना है। योगिनी बनना सभी महिलाओं के लिए सर्वोच्च आध्यात्मिक लक्ष्य होना चाहिए। योगिनियां भीतर की देवी के साथ एक होने का तरीका है और दुनिया को ऊपर उठाने के लिए उसे अभिव्यक्ति में लाने का तरीका है। आंतरिक ऊर्जा और परम आनंद की असीम स्थिति है जो हमें योगिनी बनाती है।
We will understand about Yogini temples. I am joined by a very special guest, Veena Unnikrishnan. Namaste, Veena Unnikrishnan ji. Welcome to this episode of Itihasa.
Thank you, sir.
Let's start with you first before we come to Yoginis. How did you get immersed in Yoginis? Tell us a little bit about yourself.
So I'm basically an artist. I'll say I am artist by blessing. I'm not a learned artist. It was there part of my life as growing. But yes, I started painting my Raja Ravi Verma's painting. That is how I started, copying their work. That is how I started painting. Then later on, I was attracted towards triangles and circles. That was the geometrical figures started attracting. But somewhere I felt there is no life in it. Because in Kerala, we do a lot of, drawings before the puja, which we call yantra. But then I felt there was no life in what I was painting. So I was in search of life for that.
So you're essentially painting Tantra motifs at that
Tantra motifs, yes. And from there, that particular journey took me to somebody called Dr. MMLX, who was an encyclopedia on all these, not only Hinduism as such, it's like all other religions, he was very good at it. And I have actually reached him by my biggest blessing of life to understand more about the secrets of the squares and circles. So that is how the journey towards Yogini has started. I worked with him for 4 years as an assistant to him, helping in his research work. But we never spoke Tantra. I was part of his pujas. I traveled with him to all the temples without realization that he was initiating that energy in me throughout that 4 years. But everything has to have an end, and I lost him. He, very heart-breaking thing. It was his death was very uncertain. It was sudden, and before his death, must be 6 months before, he has given me a book. And he said, you will write on Sri Vidya.
Sri Vidya.
Sri Vidya. Which I really didn't have any idea about it. Why? I just took the book and I kept it in my almirah. But after his death, that kept, coming into my mind.
Had you read Brahmanda Puran earlier?
No, sir.
Or Lalita Sahasranama?
Lalita Sahasranama was part of my prayers. But it was never with intentions. You just say as, a prayer. Then that kept triggering me, that I need to do something about this and I need to understand more about Sri Vidya. And I really didn't want to go to any person to learn about it. I was confused on how should I take it. So during a Navaratra, I thought, okay, I need to take a call on this. I took 9 days fast only by having water. I recited Lalitha throughout the 9 days, and I said I need to start somewhere on Lalitha, because yes, basic understanding of Sri Vidya was there, basic understanding of Sri Meru, not Sri Vidya as such, or the Sri Yandra was there. But then I thought I need to understand my Shiva first before understanding the goddesses, because Sri Vidya is anyway goddesses. Like that, I did first painting Ardhanarishwara. It was established my Shiva inside me saying that, okay, this is how I am going to start. But I didn't know my journey was taking me to yoginis, because yogini was never a name which I intended. But somehow towards like earlier times, I had a very good friend who is a great astrologer and a practitioner. He has taught me Yogini, Yogini, Yogeshwari, that mantra. And I used to recite somewhere. That is how I know Yogini. But that is a mantra to enhance your attractiveness, or it is something like that. But that also was part of your Reiki healer, so it was part of my. I never took all this as on a religious perspective. I always taken all this as on a personal perspective. Then I did my Ardhanarishwaran. Then also I don't know, I am going to yoginis. In fact, Shiva came out beautifully in that.
In the Ardhanarishwar painting.
Yes. After finishing that, I reached out to a temple which we go regularly with Dr. Alex. So I went to that temple, and Dr. Alex said whenever he goes to the temple, he will buy 64 lotuses and do puja. And I never asked him. He was a person where I could never ask him questions. He always said that it is there in the air and it has to come to you, it will come, I will never teach you all this thing. That was his understanding.
When the time is right, it will come to you.
And it will come to you. You need to have that intention in. So when I went to the temple, that flower seller, seeing me, itself took 64 lotuses and said. So I thought that 64 is a magical number which somebody is trying to tell me. So I asked the pujari there, why he must have put 64 flowers. He said, must be there are 64 Bhairavas. So then I thought, okay, then I should hold on to Bhairava. Then I started a little bit reading about Bhairava. Then I understood he has counterparts. So then I painted Bhairavas. One Bhairava I painted, one Bhairava. And I told him, now you are there, take me towards your wives, your counterparts.
The yoginis.
Yoginis. So that is how I decided to paint yoginis. That is how yoginis have come to my life.
We'll come to the paintings a little later. For the benefit of the viewer, the Brahmanda Purana has a section called Lalita Mahatmya. But the Lalita Sahasranama is an independent text. It's particularly popular in the southern parts. Binaji, the word yogini is bandied around quite a bit. The divinity of female yogi is also a yogini. But in your case, yogini means something very, very specific. So what is a yogini?
So if we talk about yogini in two different aspects. One is yogini in the sense of real yoginis, which is there in the books. So there are different form of goddesses. Like, when the Kali went for Yudh, that drops of blood. Was changing to Vanasura. So to kill them, different forms of her has been taken, is called as yoginis. Even Lalita Sahasranama talks about lot of yoginis, all Gupta yoginis they say. Srividya talks about yoginis. So there are a lot of yoginis as such. When I feel there are different forms of goddesses. But for me personally, if you think, it's somebody, it's an enlightened energy, an enlightened woman who has the control on her body, mind and soul. That is what I will call as an yogini. So when I see a woman around today, I see them all as yoginis, as powerful goddesses. And the 64 forms, they say 64 yoginis. But there are different names, sir. I don't have to tell you that there are different names, which I think you will be telling me what are the names. But these 64 are 64 emotions of a person. 64, that is why the goddesses has selected 64 goddesses to fight the Yuddha. But every asura had a different energy. So वो असुरा को मारने के लिए अलग चाहिए था, so second asura के लिए different energy चाहिए था. So goddess has changed that form. So that forms are there in you. So a woman who can understand that 64 forms is what is a yogini for me, sir.
I need to stress the fact that not much has been written on yoginis and the yogini cult. There is the little bit here, the little bit there, often done by Westerners. As far as I know, you are the only one who has visited all the 64 Yogini temples that exist in India. You've been on this remarkable journey. How many Yogini temples are there?
So there are 7 temples which I visited, which was available, you know, the informations were available. There are a lot of, as you said, it is secret. It has been, people are not talking. Even मैंने भी शुरू किया था, तो when I read it, वो थोड़ा सा डर लग गया था, because उसमें इतना लिखा हुआ है, like they have given a, you know, fearful form or fearful approach for this. But then I understood, sir, कोई बहुत महंगा सामान कहीं रख देते हो, हम उसके सामने थोड़ा सा fear फैला लेते हैं, so that people don't reach them, as or the right person will reach. I felt she is like that, you know. She is powerful, sir. She is like raw form of energy where you can just touch and trigger it. So उसको protect करने के लिए ये fear उसके सामने लगाया गया. That is why very less information. This is what I feel. But when it comes to temples, I have visited around 7 temples.
Where are these 7 temples? Most people only know about the one on the basis of which the old parliament was designed.
Yes.
Which are the 7 temples?
Sir, there are 2.
Where are they?
2 are in Orissa. One is Orissa Hirapur.
Yes.
That's a small temple near Bhubaneswar.
Near Bhubaneswar.
And a small temple, very cute temple, which is circle in shape. And there is puja which is happening, not as per the tantra. It is on, diya lagata hai, because this family was looking after the temple, so they are given permission to continue lighting the lamp. But they are not allowed to do pujas as per tantra systems. Yes. One is Hirapur, which is very close to Bhubaneswar. From there, it's almost 9 hours, 10 hours of journey. We went towards Ranipur Jarial. There also, it's on a beautiful mount. The goddesses are there, which is, there is no puja, nothing. It is just like a treasure which has been looked after. And from there, we went to Madhya Pradesh. So 2 are in Orissa.
Yes.
And other one is Madhya Pradesh, Beragad, near Narmada. Beautiful space. There also it is same thing, sir, it is all demolished. But wo bolte hai, when the whole invasion was happening, the center portion mein kuch kiya nahi gaya, because lot of bees have come out of it. So the inside the sanctum sanatorium, it is all you know, safe. But मेरे को वो structure में थोड़ा सा मेरे ख्याल से it has been demolished or it has been restructured, because normally वो एक circle रहता है, बीच में भैरवा रहता है. In this temple, in the center, there is another temple which has come up. So I think there has to be a second hand. Yes, yes. That is from
third.
Yeah, that is the 3rd temple, and the 4th is Bado. That is also in Madhya Pradesh. It is more of a Jainism surroundings around it. They call as 64 Yogini temple, but it is not circle in shape. And
so the 64 Yogini temples typically are circle
in shape. Center mein Bhairava rehta hai, and all the 64 goddesses.
They will have Bhairavas and then the 64 Yoginis around.
Yes.
I've been to the one in Hirapur. So is it the case that the typical Yogini temple is uncovered? It's open.
It's open.
Unlike what we think
even
of.
Even in Kerala, sir, we have temples which they are not supposed to have roof, because उस energy को हम hold नहीं कर सकते. So when you cannot.
So you told us about the 4th one.
Yeah, 4th one is as Bado.
Yes.
So it is like, it looks like more of a Jainism structures there, and they also say that it has been reconstructed. They have touched the temple. So it is not on the form of a circle. It's a temple in a very bad state, but beautiful. From there it was Dudai. That is again a circular in shape. It is Lalitpur. It is circular in shape, but there is no.
Also in Madhya Pradesh.
Madhya Pradesh. No, it is New Pisa.
Okay.
It's body Lalitpur, yeah. So there you don't have any structures at all. It is just 95% demolished temple. But we know there's a circular platform. So that means it was in circles. Then it is again back to Madhya Pradesh, the main temple Gajrao.
Near Khajuraho.
So just to opposite to the western group of temples, there is.
That's the one on the basis of which the parliament building.
No, sir.
Okay.
No, that is Morena.
Okay, Morena.
Next to Beragat, there is another small structure which is in the eastern side. So again fully completely demolished, but there is 42, number is not 64. But looking at the western group of temples, again in very bad shape, only thing there is a presence. From there we went to Morena. So which is the structure is beautifully maintained, but there is no goddesses inside.
So all of these are ASI.
Yeah, all of yes, all under ASI.
But they are not in the same state of repair or disrepair. In some cases, only the external structure is there.
So, isme the Orissa one isn't fully in shape.
The Hirapur one.
Hirapur one. Lalitpur, the Ranipur Jarial structure again no issues, but the structure is very withered. You know, anytime it can collapse. It is in such a stage. And the Bairagat structures are strong. The temple is stronger temple. And with other two temples, I said it's almost 95% not there. Only their presence is there. But the structure, beautiful structure, which is maintained is Morena, sir.
The
in
external
Galia.
structure.
Yeah, the Galia, yes.
So just to, by the way, so you have travelled to all 7?
Yes, I have travelled.
By road?
By road.
And you have documented all of this?
Yeah, we documented.
And soon that documentation will be available to for people to
100%.
watch so that they get motivated to visit.
Sir.
But just to sort of summarize what I've understood from what you have said, in terms of the beauty of the external structure, you're telling me that out of the 7, the best one is Morena in terms of the external
External beauty, yes.
But if I want to form a sense of what a Chaucer Yogini temple was actually like,
yes, sir.
It is really Hirapur. Is
because there you see the goddesses.
You see the goddesses.
Even Ranipur also you see the goddesses. They are there inside.
So Hirapur and Ranipur are the places where the goddesses
are there. And the structure is exactly how it should be. Because Bairagat mein wo beech mein structure ka kuch 100% change hua hai.
Something.
Yes.
And in terms of size, which is the largest?
Bairagat.
Bairagat is the largest.
Largest size goddesses.
Okay. And in terms of geographical?
Geographical size, I think Morena should be big.
The Morena is probably the largest one. Yes. Now, what do you intend to, were you motivated to go on this Yogini tour, and what are your plans after this?
So, I feel, मेरा practices मेरा को इधर लेके नहीं गया. It was not my practice or there was something on man's ancestral. It's some divine blessings which has pushed me into this.
Right.
So what can I do as a person? I can only put the seed to so many people's mind. So it can develop. This can be, you can bring back this culture. So I feel that is my responsibility. And how can you reach them? How can others, people does not know, sir. Because now people who knows me knows Yogini, which is one of the biggest blessings. So I feel if it goes to a platform where others can also see, people will also walk into that places. More the people go, the energy will also build. The government will also take, its initiative.
So it's a dissemination function.
Dissemination, sir. So that's what I think.
How are you planning to disseminate it? Is it through the net, through other means?
So I'm planning few things. One is this documentary which we are planning. We wanted to have it in Cannes and I wanted to do it in several states in India, wherein we call people and show this movie. And it's not a movie, it's just a documentary, sir. And
the travels and the documenting the temples.
And the second one, I'm coming up with a metaverse, where the Morena is being made on as a metaverse, where all these goddesses are there.
Why only Morena? Why not others?
Because it is easy to build, because only one temple can be, but we'll have informations about other temples also in this. But a place to come in, and we are taking the shape of Morena, and so that it's like on a global level this can be seen, because I have seen whomever has done research are all foreigners about this subject.
Yes.
So
and one particular Indian who's actually based abroad.
Yes. Otherwise, there's a lot of people who talks about Yogini I've seen, and when you talk about Yoginis also, I've seen interest from outsiders. About feminine power, energy and all that.
And often at a very superficial level.
Yes.
But superficial and academic level.
Sir. But that is how, religion is actually perceived according to me. I've seen nobody goes deep, sir. Nobody goes to inside of yours. People all look goddesses outside. So I think yoginis will take you inside a person. That's what I feel.
Thank you, Beena ji, for joining us,
Thank you so much. It's a beautiful.
for enlightening all of us about your journey, about yoginis. Please continue to watch Itihasa on Sansad TV. Namaste.
उत्तरं यत् समुद्रस्य हिमाद्रश्चैव दक्षिणं वर्षं तद् भारतं नाम भारतीयत्र सन्तति